Shake it up.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back. Happy New Year. Hope everyone had a great Christmas, Hanukkah, happy holiday.
Feliz Nuevo Año.
Yes, absolutely.
Hope you had a white Christmas. We didn't. It was
Gray.
It was gray and half green.
It's been crazy. It's been so foggy. It's been like 50 degrees. It's almost January. The only thing white is our Martini.
Let's test these bad boys
Sponsored by one of our own, Matt.
Cheers. Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Wow. So this definitely trumps the one I made like way back that was kind of like Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
You know what it is? It's the
schnapps?
cinnamon cream.
Oh, cream,
so people just use like normal cream or like half and half or milk. Once you put the cinnamon cream in it, that's the secret ingredient.
It's your turn. You got to tell the viewers what's the science.
So it's just cinnamon cream, butter shots, which is butter schnapps. Butterscotch schnapps. I knew I was going to mess that up, but I can't say that ever again.
It's just butter.
How many have you had, man?
And then just vanilla Smirnoff vanilla vodka. So pretty simple. You can add a little cream to it. I think we might have done that as well, but
yeah,
it's good.
It is.
It's called a Snickerdoodle Martini. So
okay, yeah, I taste that.
Where'd you hear about this one?
a friend of ours, a new friend of ours. When Danny and I go up and hit the range, we go to this place called the Cork and Keg, and I think it's Raymond. And the bartender was telling us about this drink, and she saved us a little bit and let us try it. So told us the key ingredients, and I went out the next day or the day after and got them. And I've made them for Lindsay and Sabrina a couple times, and they love them.
Yeah,
It's really good.
it is.
I can't wait to have another.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yes.
have another sip.
I know. We have this wrap for condensation purposes, but maybe I'll create like a border.
You know what we didn't do, which I think I did before, is I did the rim in cinnamon, or like cinnamon sugar.
Yeah. I mean, this is perfect just as is.
I know. I really like it.
These would be good for shots too. I've seen they're all over social media, like Christmas shots and holiday shots. But they take a shot glass, they do vanilla frosting, like Betty Crocker frosting, and they rim it with crushed up peppermint candy canes. So that could be good too. I would do shots of these.
Yeah, especially around Christmas time, I just crave creamy things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No.
And and speaking of creamy, so you had a nice little honeymoon getaway with the wife. Tell us about it.
Yeah, St. Lucia. Yeah.
Very creamy down there.
Jesus. Yeah. It was awesome.
Nothing pineapple cream or coconut cream.
Oh, I thought you meant cremation.
That would be horrible.
Sorry.
I don't want to go
that.
that.
Interrupt you.
Let me just sip on this for a sec. It's creamy.
So St. Lucie.
St. Lucie, yeah, St. Lucia. Never been, first time. But it was awesome. It was nothing but relaxation. We had our own suites. It was almost like a community. Think of like a gated community, like I don't know, like down in Florida or something, like super tropical. Everything is like your own entrance, and then you have these wristbands, these waterproof wristbands that you unlock the inner door to get into your.
That was like
room.
when I was in Florida in the Keys. The resort we stayed at had that. It did your like to get into the resort and then to get into your room and then to get to into the pool and everything.
Nice.
And to pay for stuff too, right? Do they do? Because
No, it's all
Disney,
inclusive.
They had those magic bands.
Oh,
that you
oh.
could pay for everything with. It was great. You would just charge it to your card.
That's cool. Yeah, they would do it with your room number if you give them the room number. But because it was all inclusive, we got so on Coconut Bay there are like 3 resorts, and then the newest is Serenity. Serenity is where we were, and that is meant for couples, whether it be birthdays, anniversaries, newlyweds. Everything is in 2. Everything's in 2. So, like every seat by the pool was in 2s.
That's funny.
Like,
did you see a lot of like people on their honeymoons too?
Everyone.
That was like when we were in Hawaii. It's like people are like, "Are you in your honeymoon?" I'm like, "Yeah." They're like, "We are too." I'm like, "Oh, cool."
Literally everyone that came except one, which was very weird. All were married, all wedding rings and stuff, celebrating. Some had anniversaries, but it was couples for sure. So we did nothing really but relax. We got a tour of the island, which was pretty cool. We saw some awesome waterfalls.
How long did that take?
So it took about 2.5 to 3 hours.
It's not
total.
a big island. That was one of the surprises, and not to keep comparing mine to yours, but with Hawaii, it took like 3.5 hours to get across the island to the other side.
Oh, you beat us real good.
It was crazy.
So from the very south of the island to the very tip, the north of the island, an hour and 10 minutes. So very small, but it was cool to see. I mean, I've seen the village.
It's like mountainy, right?
Super
yeah, that's
mountainy.
Cool.
Yeah, very rainforest-esque. But I guess they have like a dry season, which is really shocking to me. So other than by the rainforest where it always is raining, like there's just this little area that just gets rain. However it works, however the cloud is like designated to that spot, it dries out. So everything else gets like pretty gray from the end of December to like April or like March, end of March. So that was weird. But I wanted to do zip lining. I wanted to do ATVing, but it was extra. We did get a credit for $1,200, and that went to our in-suite massage, our pool cabana, our beach cabana, and then our last night we were
last night.
Yeah, we were rocking out. We were by the pool in those pool cabanas, and you literally sit in bed with these big tables, and they come and do a 5-course meal.
That's
so
awesome.
I had lobster tail, we had salad, we had cheese crackers, we had wine. But my favorite part, and I always say this with like all inclusive, is it's unlimited food and unlimited drinks.
So they have like a buffet, or like is it like restaurant style?
So both. So at Serenity was called the Great House, and the Great House had breakfast, lunch, and dinner every day. And breakfast and lunch was casual, but then dinner you had to like have a collared shirt. It said to wear pants, but everyone was wearing shorts. But they have a full menu, and then there are 3 or 4 other restaurants that you have to make reservations to.
Okay.
So we did 2 others. We did Silk, which was Asian fusion. That was awesome. And then we did Trattoria, which is Italian. So, yeah, I mean, it was just, we needed it. I needed it.
Did you have any like island style food? Like,
oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Jerk chicken, a bunch of seafood.
Nice.
So they did like their own versions of like pastas. They did like, what is it called? Like calamari, and
nice.
they had like this like kind of spicy breading to it. They had a lot of soups. They did like a potato soup. They did corn, like a corn chowder. Even though it's really hot, it was still delicious. And then they had a bunch of stuff like shrimp, crab, sushi, lobster. I mean, it was awesome.
What'd you do for like? Did you like order like breakfast in bed most days, or
twice?
Did the butler bring them?
Yeah. So they ring your bell, and they have like this like little box. So if you have your sign up that says "Do Not Disturb," they open it on their side. They slide it in, and then you can open the other side from your side. So like no contact.
That's funny.
But if it's not there, they'll ring the bell, and you just go outside. They'll bring it in. If it's a lot of food, they'll wheel it to you. But it was awesome. Definitely more low key. Not as much to do as other islands I've been to, but like that was what we wanted.
Right.
And after surgery and postponing the wedding and stuff, I just wanted to relax. I just wanted everything to be done for us without any issue, and they couldn't have been more friendly. They were beyond accommodating. Like Serenity, 10 out of 10. I'd rate it more than 10 if
they wipe your ass for you.
So that was extra. That was extra.
That was not in the $1,200 budget.
No, that was extra. But they did bring us refills of everything. Like they replaced towels every day. They did. They would do your laundry if you wanted to, but we thought it was a little weird. Like
you're there for 8
touching
days.
Yeah, but it's like touching your underwear and stuff, watching your ass. You know, smelly
when
stank.
when we were in Hawaii, we ended up taking our laundry to a place down the street to do it for us. It was kind of nice because you drop it off, you go out and do your day, and you come back and it's all like saran wrapped, like in an airtight bag.
That's cool.
Yeah, I mean it's fine.
Yeah, we would have done it, but more so me. Lexi was like, it's kind of weird, so I was like, yeah, it's fine. But the butler would do it for you, and he would fold it or hang it, whatever you want. Brought us 2 bottles of liquor of our choice.
Did you get through them?
Did we what?
Did you get through them? Because you had you got like a couple of big bottles, right, for the week?
Yeah, what's through them? What's through them?
Did you get through them?
Oh, through them. Sorry, I thought you said, did you get through them? I'm like, what is that? It was like
it's an island drink.
yeah. Did you get through them? Just the vodka.
Yeah.
I brought home the bourbon because I didn't open it.
Oh, really?
So, no. But it was Jefferson Reserve. I'm sorry, Woodford Reserve, which is a really good bourbon. So that was cool.
Glad you enjoyed it.
Tito's. Yeah. It's here. It's in the collection.
Sweet.
So for your flights, what airline did you take, and like where did you stop and everything?
So it was American Airlines, and there's no direct flights. So we had to go to Charlotte both ways, and so Boston to Charlotte to St. Lucia, then St. Lucia to Charlotte
that's
to
not too
Boston.
bad.
No, and our layovers were so tight, like little sketchy coming home.
At least
we
it was
had
the
like
return trip. Like, who cares?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously you want to get home, but
right. Yeah, we had like 10 minutes to spare after going through customs and security. Like we had about an hour landing, but then it was like, oh boy. But it was
up
cool.
Here we have 2 airports. Like you could fly into Boston or Manchester. So if your connecting flight you miss it on the way back, I'm sure you could find a flight to one of the 2.
Yeah,
It might be a little bit later, but you'll at least find something. It just stinks for some people who have to like get a hotel that night because there's no flights back to their hometown.
Right.
You know?
Well, I mean, we
imagine.
would have been stuck in Charlotte, which would have been fine. I mean, there's so much to do. That airport's gorgeous. Like that's other than like Logan, inside, not outside. It is a friggin' jungle gym maze, but the insides are really nice. But Charlotte is so nice, like giant. They got stores of like every kind. So many restaurants. They have a brewery in the middle.
that's the best. Like,
Yeah.
like when we were coming back, we stopped in, I forget, maybe Phoenix or something like that, or Scottsdale, somewhere in Arizona, I think. But
Phoenix,
I was like, we need to get food, and like, luckily there's a handful of restaurants, so like you're not waiting in the line for the one restaurant or the 2 restaurants. It's like there's plenty of options and variety, and obviously it's like quick and fast. So people come in, they get their bite to eat, and they hop on their plane. So we lucked out. But yeah, that's a big requirement.
Deal. Yes.
Some restaurants in the airport.
The St. Lucia airport, I mean, most are super tiny in the Caribbean, but they're so tiny that there's no like gateway, like no taxiway. What do they call them? Like a skywalk, tarmac thing. Like you just like exit either the front or the rear of the aircraft, and you just walk down these steps. It was like how presidents come off the planes. They just walk down the steps. So it was crazy. They had like one store that was like snack food related, but like nothing fresh. It was just all like corn nuts and peanuts and gifts. Souvenirs.
Yeah, it's cool when you get off the plane in the winter, like here, and then you get off down there and it's so warm.
Dude, it was awesome.
Breeze coming through.
We changed in Charlotte.
Right, that's always what you got to do, because it's like you dress warm for here, and then wherever you're going, it's like you need like those zip-off pants or whatever turn into shorts.
Oh, man, I used to rock those in school, and cargo was a huge deal.
Oh, yeah, those are the best.
But then the zipper would show, so like it was so obvious they were not connected. It wasn't like a seam that made it look like
that's okay. It didn't
secretive.
Really matter back then.
No one cared.
No one gave a damn.
But 10 out of 10. Loved it. It was great. Great food, great people. Service was awesome. Super relaxing.
Did you miss us?
Oh, yeah. I'm so happy to be here. I was like definitely just chilling. No work, nothing thinking about, but I definitely was like thinking about the podcast. Like, yeah, so we had a wet bar outside, and I'm like, oh, man. I was like, I wish the boys were here. Like shooting,
man.
Dude, it would have been sick. Like there's a sink, a fridge that's stacked. There's like hammocks, pool. I mean, it would have been such a cool set to like film on. But it's not if, it's just when. When are we gonna do it?
Oh yeah, definitely. I want to do a trip with you guys, California or something.
Be awesome.
Keep it domestic for our first one, just so that we know we'll
just
make
like
it
our
home.
assault. Just like Lucic.
Yeah.
Can I get another one, please, bartender? Alex?
Yeah, let's go.
I'd take another.
Yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed my trip.
I had a few little black hairs in mine, and now they're gone. So I just ate somebody's hair. It's probably yours, Alex.
You think?
Although it could be Matt's. He was playing with his hair earlier, showing us
Maybe.
how soft it is.
Well, I promise you that I showered.
That's good.
And it was only about 30 minutes.
Like a year ago?
30 minutes before you got
Dude,
here.
my hot water went out on Christmas Eve.
What?
Why?
Lindsay went to take a shower. We're going to her mom's for like 5 o'clock, and Lindsay went to shower, and I was just going to shower later for whatever reason. And I like literally get in the shower. I'm like, I have it running. I get in there and like I stick my arm under it. I'm like, it's freezing. So I'm like, all right, whatever. Like maybe she used a lot. I'll get out. I'll just like chill for a little bit, let it heat up. I let like 30 to 40 minutes go by, and I went back in, did the same exact thing. Like got undressed, got in the shower, stuck my hand in. I'm like, it's still cold.
Oh,
so I go and look at the thermostat on my water heater, and it's set at like 80, and it's set to like 125. And so I called my mother-in-law's boyfriend, who's an electrician and just knows a lot about everything. And he's like, this is like 3 o'clock. I'm like, we got 2 hours till we got to be at my mother-in-law's for Christmas Eve dinner and all that. And so he came over, plugs his electrician tools into this thing. He's like, all right, there's power here, there's power here, there's no power here. It's your thermostat. Luckily, it was like an $18 part, and I have a Home Depot in my town, but they didn't have it in stock there, so I drove to Plastow, which like I forgot like how close. I used to drive that route like every day when we were working on the house. Right. And I drove over there. I literally drove over there, got what I needed, and drove back all in 35 minutes. So, because I was like, I need to do this now. When I called Jeff, he was like, I can come over. And so I went and got it because they weren't going to be open the next day on Christmas. And they were only open till 5. And so I got in there, got what I needed, went home. And then after Christmas Eve dinner at my mother-in-law's, he came over and installed that, and we're good to go. So it was a little bit of a scare. I was a little frustrated at first. But
oh, man, I think that's a blessing. Take cold showers.
I like cold showers in the summer.
Yeah, I know.
We've been doing just ice baths right in the bathtub.
Right.
So after the gym, fill up with cold water. Abby goes first, then showers, and I go second, then shower. It's the best.
Yeah.
Cold shower?
Great. Is the shower cold?
Well, we
as
do
well?
an ice bath and then drain that and then do a hot shower.
Okay.
So, but it's not ice cold. It's probably like 46.
So Abby's doing the ice bath now?
Yeah.
How's she like it?
She's getting used to it.
I bet.
Yeah. At first, it was tough. Like I could hear her swearing in the bathroom a couple days ago. But it's something that you get used to pretty quickly.
Yeah.
It's just like, yeah, it definitely shocks your body, which is how it works.
Alex had an ice bath in his wheelbarrow.
Oh,
yeah. You should have done it, man.
It's so funny. I walked out there because it rained and then a bunch. It's all it's been doing. And it froze over, and that was the first thing I thought about was the ice bath. I was like, oh, I got to jump in. I was actually thinking about it, though. If it gets colder than 50 degrees. What was the tub that you bought?
Rubbermaid or something?
It's a Rubbermaid. It's like a cattle feed tank. No, I got it off Amazon, $200.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Which is a lot cheaper than an actual like ice bath that has the filter and the, the chiller, they call it.
Okay.
Those are like $3,000 to $5,000.
Dude, just turn your cold water on in your bathtub upstairs.
Yeah, that's a much cheaper option.
I know. Well, it's more so just to get that ice topping and breaking it through. I know it's like the way to do it, but yeah, I can just.
But doing
super cold.
Like doing cold water therapy at the end of the day is beneficial regardless of if it's 40 degrees or 50, 60 degrees. It's still shocking your what am I looking for? Nervous system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like a defibrillator.
It's good for anxiety.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
It's really good for anxiety, I've heard too. Like
it is.
She's like,
and Abby's doing a polar plunge soon, right? So she's conditioning for it, is what she's doing.
Yeah, although in the tub she just does it up to like her legs. So
I've done 2 of those in the ocean on Long Island when I lived there with
really?
with
No,
Stoke
thank
Brogy.
you. I mean, I've surfed in like 59-degree water, but
that's nothing, man.
yeah. What's the temperature out here now?
It's probably in the
40s?
upper 30s.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Well, although it hasn't been that freezing here.
I'm telling you, I'm going to get a wave storm just to foam me and go out and rip with you in the spring.
You should, yeah.
I'll bring back one of my wetsuits. I think I just gave one away, though. Someone was like helping, like a family friend was painting my grandmother's house, and that's like where all my California stuff is still. And they came across my wetsuits and asked about them, and I was like, yeah, like, I'm not going to use them, so go ahead, like, it's all you. Put it to use. Figured I'd help some kid out.
Yeah. It would help you with the cold water here, though, if you just...
I know. I think I have one here. I have my 4.3 here, which would help a lot.
Yeah, 4.3 would be okay. I think I have a 6.5 that I use.
Wow.
It's super thick.
So the thicker part is in your chest. So
Okay.
4 millimeters of thickness in your chest, and then 3 like your arms and legs and your back and everything.
And
But-
is it do you only have like a certain amount of time or like a couple hours before it just like seeps through?
No, it goes through right away. But your body heat warms up the water that's in there. So like a lot of people pee in their wetsuits to stay warm.
That's what I do.
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah.
Some people poop in them.
Yeah.
That's what Danny does.
I'd say the max you could be out there right now is an hour. Because
so you
water
gotta have
still gets in your boots and in your gloves, and that's what makes me the coldest. Is
I'm
the
sure.
Extremities.
Right, and you got to have good circulation. I never used booties or gloves in California, so like my hands and feet were the first things that would go numb. But like I try and like keep the blood flowing in them. My feet, I never really struggled. Luckily, I had good circulation in my feet. But I mean, obviously, you hop up on the board and like if your feet are numb, you're screwed.
Yeah, I mean, if you're getting a lot of waves, though, you stay warm. It's when it's kind of like a weird day, and it's like every fifth wave is a good one.
Right,
that's when you go.
Because you're paddling a lot, that keeps you warm.
Right. Yeah, but if you're kind of just sitting out there waiting for a wave, eventually you're gonna go numb, and that's when it's like time to get out.
Right. Damn.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to try it at least once just to like get out there. I mean, I did a polar plunge. We called them the is that what polar plunge? Yeah. So it was for, I don't know if it was for a cause or not. I think it was, but because we paid a fee to like do it, but it was
you paid to do it.
Yeah, it was like a $15 fee to like do
but
it.
It went to a good cause.
It went to a foundation of some sort. I don't know, maybe it was cancer or something like that. I did with Stoke Brogy, my cousin. Stogie. Yeah. So it was insane. Like the adrenaline rush just going through my whole body. And we just did it in bathing suits. So
it's funny because when you get out, the air suddenly doesn't feel cold.
No.
It's like feels warm.
It was
You're
like
so
better
happy
to
be
get
out of the water. Yeah.
It's usually the opposite.
Right. And that's the feeling I loved is when you get out, the water would be 35 degrees. And then you get out and it's like the air could have been 30, but it felt warmer than the water for some reason. I don't know how that works. But a few times last year, I would just, instead of jumping in the ice, the water tub, I would just lay in the snow with my shirt off. And it would kind of do the same thing.
Oh, yeah, that would shock you.
Yeah.
Oof. That's what hot tubs are for. You jump in the snow pile, you jump in the hot tub.
Yeah.
You guys are
We used to go up to, we
crazy.
had family friends up in Vermont that had a ski house. And we'd go up there and like, we'd jump off their like 12-foot deck into like a ton of snow and then run up the stairs and jump back in the hot tub. But yeah, it was good times.
I'm not a hot tub guy. Like I've tried.
I love hot tubs.
If we're doing something where like we're surrounded by snow, like it's like 8 feet tall, like it's freezing, we're having a couple brews, I'll do it. But like just jumping in one and just for the fun of it, like at a pool and stuff, I don't know. I just feel like so skeezed out by it. I don't know. It's like just dirty.
I want a hot tub so bad someday.
I know.
We went up to it. So I went skiing last week up in Killington, Vermont. And we went up on a Wednesday, and it was after a bunch of rain and like actually a ton of destruction.
Huge flooding.
We were supposed to go up to Maine, but the resort got shut down because all their access roads got washed out like really bad. And so we went to Vermont, and they didn't get it as bad. They got some snow instead even, but they had a hot tub like you could have fit over 50 people in it. It was huge. It was probably bigger than maybe the size of this room, which obviously people on the camera can't see, but it was big. Probably like, I don't know, 15 feet wide by 25 feet long. It was huge.
Damn.
And we were the only ones there. So
That's
we went and
cool.
hopped in the hot tub until our fingers went all raisiny, and then we went up and
pruning.
I hate that feeling.
You gotta take a shower though. It's like it is gross. It's like
it's just
even if it's clean, it's still the chemicals that's
I
on
know.
you.
Yeah, the chlorine.
Right.
I just hate that smell.
It's such a distinct smell. Like I can smell it now. It's just like wow, chlorine. Like the indoor pools that are heated, you walk in, you're like, oh my
Yeah.
The YMCA.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Well, they have to do that because all the kids pee in it.
Oh yeah.
And
then if it's too much, you get burned, and then if it's too little,
that's like
you get
like we have
diseases.
We have water country near us, which is like so disgusting.
There's E. coli like 5 times every summer.
It's disgusting. They must have so many chemicals in there, but even still, it's probably full of bacteria.
The worst part about any water park, but water country in particular, because we're talking about it, is when you do a slide, when you're on like a raft or something, and you get like to the bottom where it lets you out into a pool, and just enough splashes up where it like gets into your mouth, and like it's like like you don't know what to do. Like you're not gonna swallow it, but you don't want to spit it out. I mean, you do, but like you're trying to be like subtle about it, and it's just gross. And then I spit it out, and then you're like, oh, I need like mouthwash. Like I need to disinfect my mouth.
Yeah, you need to like swallow mouthwash at that point because it's in your intestines. You're just screwed.
It's in your teeth. Yeah.
You missed Lindsay's 24th birthday, but we had a slip and slide in Alex's backyard.
Oh, yeah.
And we just had the sprinkler facing down it with like dish soap. It was so much fun.
I love those slip and slides where people pull like a massive jump at the end and then it goes into like
it went to like into a puddle at the end. Kind of,
I tried to.
And everyone just
pull
kind of
it.
crashed into each other.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And then it ruined Alex's yard, and never again will we do that.
It just it was just too much work to. Thankfully, I got all the grass back. It was nice and lush and green like this summer, but. I think it was all of the Dawn soap.
You said this
too.
like the next day. It was just like a brown streak down the middle of your yard.
It was, when you put soap down it, that's
man.
probably what killed all
And there
the
was
grass.
so much soap. So much soap. And I also left it overnight, so
Yeah.
it was fun. That was worth it.
Yeah.
Not worth it again, but totally worth it then. Like, waking up was awful. I was just like, oh my God. They got like blonde, the highlights in your hair. Skunk
I was like
streak.
when I used to live in California, I surfed literally every day, and if I wasn't surfing, I was skating, so I was always outside. Right. And to the point where my hair was like getting really light colored, and my uncle's like, "You dye your hair, right?" And I was like, "No, I don't dye my hair. I'm in the salt every day." And he did not believe me.
Yeah, that'll do it. Or lemon juice. If you like put lemon juice in your hair and then go in the sun, it's supposed to like make your hair blonde.
I did that growing up because I thought it was cool to like get lighter hair. I don't know if it worked.
Now you just do frosted tips.
Yeah. my hair definitely gets lighter in the summer. Longer amount in the sun, it definitely gets blonder.
It definitely makes sense.
I was like a bleach blonde baby.
Same.
Oh yeah, it was.
Well, I actually came out with orange hair, so I was a redhead when
okay.
I came out. First couple months, and my mom was like, "No way am I having a redheaded child." So she shaved my head.
She put you back in.
She shaved my head, and it all came back in blonde.
That's so weird.
I know.
Note to self.
It was probably all the antibiotics I was on, just making my hair orange.
You were on antibiotics?
Yeah.
Oh.
I was a sick kid. But anyway.
That's our logo.
Goals for 2024.
Let's talk about it.
It's here, baby. I can't believe it.
Can you pass me a pepper?
I can't believe it's already 2024.
Pepper
By the time people watch it, it's 2024. For us, it's next week. But
we've mentioned it before, but we are a week ahead. One day, we want to be able to just do this like live. Like we're recording stuff and releasing it, but we are a week ahead, so
it's
New Year's Eve. I mean, it's 2024 now.
What a year! It was a great year.
Yeah. What was your favorite and worst?
Married.
And worst.
I mean, wedding was awesome. The worst part? I mean,
getting married.
I was like, and worst. Married.
Best and worst.
I was gonna say your brain surgery, but that was actually 2022, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You hate it that he's alive now?
No. Yeah.
Yeah.
Worst? I don't know. I had a really good year. I got promoted. I got a few raises. I
Probably
got
hitting
married.
his posts.
I backed into your. That was definitely the worst part. You're right.
Yeah.
Backing into Alex's post, which we got to talk about what happened since then.
Yes. Dude, unbelievable. Cursed.
It's not just me.
No.
So what are you looking forward to now in the new year?
New year. I mean, save some money, lose some weight, party. We have 6 or 7 weddings, including yours, for next year. We're traveling a bunch. We're going to California in February. I'm really, really looking forward to Alaska. I've talked about it a handful of times now, and we're going to do I think it's 10 or 12-day cruise in Alaska, and then a few days in Denali. Bucket list for sure. But I'm really looking forward to your wedding. I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, man.
That's what I'm looking forward to too.
Yeah.
But my New Year's resolution has nothing to do with like being a good husband or anything. It's stop getting mad at inanimate objects.
Okay.
Because the other day I was trying to you know how a Ziploc bag, there's one direction and it opens, and there's one direction that it closes. This one just kept staying closed. I would do the opening part and it would stay closed. Oh, okay. Like I had it the wrong way to begin with. Whatever. Having a good day. Keep going back and forth, and it was staying closed. I just got pissed and threw it on the ground.
What else did you do? What'd you break?
And threw it on the ground.
It broke my soul. But, I don't want to get mad at inanimate objects. Like when I bump into a door, I'll be like, what?
Right.
But then I realize it's not a person.
Okay. Yeah.
So.
Could be.
Would you say that if it was a person?
Yeah, probably.
What?
And I'd run.
What if I had the appearance like, what you gonna do, fool? Like,
exactly.
Oh, you're going fists.
Mr. T?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So what about you?
Iced tea.
What's the resolution?
My resolution, so for 2024, definitely getting into shape again. I mean, not that like.
Cheers to that, bro.
You are a shape.
I'm a shape. Cheers.
We're all shapes.
Let's cheers to a successful new year, first of all.
Struggling?
So I was actually not bad at all this time. Usually I get that little like after
little kick
like
in the nuts.
Yeah. So like in no way, shape, or form am I like obese. Same with you. Like you're not either. Like I know what you're saying. You smirk.
I have a gut and I don't want it.
Same. Same.
I just want to move it into muscle up here.
Yeah. It's like the neck area and the stomach area for me. I've never had issues in my arms and legs.
Yeah,
never.
same.
And so that's where everything goes. And I'm just sick and tired of it. And there's no reason why I shouldn't. The surgery for sure screwed things up. Understandable for the first like year. Now I'm like, all right, 2024, you're going to smell burning. It's just the candle. Don't worry about that.
I'm like, are we going down?
No. I was just like, yeah, a candle just went
Well,
up.
so you and I used to work together, and we'd go to the gym Monday through Thursday after work every day. This is pre-COVID, and like it was the accountability that really helped. It's like, all right, it's time to clink and drink. We'd go and make our pre-workouts, chug them. 10 minutes later, we're in the gym, and it was right there. It was included. It was free.
We made it fun. Like I wouldn't want to go, he wouldn't want to go, or we both didn't want to go. But like, it's right there. Let's just do it.
We gotta do it.
We got there, put the headphones in, boom. You would watch DDE.
Right, and like still do.
Yeah,
and like we'd go at like 4, so get a quick hour in, and it's 5 o'clock, and like in the summertime, like you still got plenty of daylight if you want to go do some grilling or fishing or whatever.
No excuses.
That's the thing now is like in the summertime, it's like, oh, like I really want to go hit the lake or go fishing or go boating or go riding or whatever. But in the winter, I'm like, all right, the sun sets at freaking 4 o'clock. Like there's no excuse. I'm literally going to be sitting on my couch for the next 5 hours if I don't go to the gym. Like it's right there. Just go bang out 45 minutes to an hour and like feel better about myself.
Yeah.
Well, and you can benefit yourself while you're not working out too. Like cold water therapy, intermittent fasting,
reading,
and working out. I mean, there's really no better plan.
You need to. It's also the diet, though, for me.
Well, but if you're intermittent fasting, chances are by the time your feeding window comes, you won't be reaching for like sugary food. You'll be like, I want protein.
Yeah, you break your 72-hour fast with a big steak and protein shake.
Burn it.
Well, I don't think long-term fasting is a great idea. Because then I think your body kind of gets into survival mode, and it's like, oh, I'll take whatever I can to keep weight on so that I don't starve. So that's why I think intermittent fasting, just every day, wait till noon to eat. And then
it doesn't work.
From noon to 8, try to fit in 3 good-sized meals to hit your macros.
No way. I couldn't eat 3 meals in that time frame. Maybe one, maybe 2.
One right at noon, another at 4, and another at like 7:30.
I know
the last one can be smaller. Maybe just like
I know it's a nuisance, and like I can't see myself doing it, but counting everything, the macros and the calories and stuff, is so important because that's what my cousin does, and he's just always logging everything.
As long as you do it forever, though, like I did calorie counting, and it was a quick way to lose weight.
Right.
As soon as you stop doing that, it's right back on. It was really quick and just back and forth for me on that one. Which, like I said, I mean, I lost a lot of weight doing it really quick. I literally had this like app on my phone. I put in the calories, and this is my allotment for the day, and blah, blah, blah. And I lost weight. But as soon as you stop doing that, it's right back on.
So and I agree. It's really tough. He's gotten to the point where he'll have like a bulk month, and he's eating like over 10,000 calories a day, and then just shreds it up. But he's gotten to the point, I think, this may not be correct, but I think now, because he's been doing it for so long, he's reached a point where he has such a large calorie intake.
He also runs a gym.
Right.
So he's there daily.
That's his life.
Pumping iron.
Yes, iron. So he burns so much and now is able to eat so much more that I think it's just become it's just what he does.
It's his lifestyle. Yeah. Well, that's the thing is like if you burn more than you intake, then you're going to be losing weight,
right,
and gaining muscle and stuff like that. So I mean, it's like I said, it's quick. It's a quick way to do it, but you gotta stay true to it for sure.
Yeah.
Same with anything really. I mean, same with carnivore. Like I haven't been doing it in hardcore in a couple months now, and it shows. I'm hoping to get back to it. I think I don't think January 1 is a good way to do it, in my opinion. Like, you're coming off the holidays, you're still enjoying some stocking candy or whatever you got, but like 2 weeks into January, maybe that's when I'll start, type of thing.
They always say do it yesterday because when you set a goal, it's like
day one or one day, right?
Yeah, it's like set up for failure. It's like I'll do it next week, and then next week is next month, and it's like you got to do it yesterday.
I did that last year, and it's because me and Sabrina actually joined a weight loss challenge that her cousin like puts on, and I was like, oh, I'm like just gonna get into carnivore, and like I lost 17 pounds real quick, and then I kind of stalemated, and then I kind of fell off, but they didn't start it until maybe the last week of January, so it kind of gave you like the end of your holidays, kind of enjoy yourself for a little bit longer, and then it did, because it was like a contest, like I had to like set that date, like I'm going now, and this is when it is. So
it's
kind of hoping to do
dedication.
the same. Yeah, exactly. And it's
we're gonna hold each other accountable. You guys have been doing good. You guys have been going to the gym. So it's funny, you were like in the other room over there, you were like, what are you doing, Pilates? So I caved. They had a really good deal going on at Dick's Sporting Goods, and I got a home gym that does everything. It's real weight. It's
like
not
a bench?
resistance. No, it's like everything,
like bands?
legs. No, it's real weight. It's up to 150, and you can do, like, it has the pull down bar. It has the bench press. You can do the pull down behind your neck. You can turn around and pull it towards you. You have your legs. So yeah.
Cool. When did you do you have it now?
No, I gotta pick it up.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like 280 pounds.
Nice. We'll come over here, get a quick pump in, and then film.
There you go. Yeah.
That's another thing is like scheduling. Like
Right.
we're here once a week after work. I used to go during the lunch hour. That was my favorite ever. I'd go for like 45 minutes. I'd do like 20 minutes of cardio and then go lift for 25 minutes, and I felt great.
Right.
I'd come home, I'd make a nice big protein-filled meal, and just I was doing good. And then now it's like back to work 2 or 3 days a week, and that kind of interrupts it. So I'm trying to find like the time I can do it after work. And excuse me, I think I can. I learned that like 6:30. It's not too late where like you have a late dinner. Like I'm still having dinner at like 7:30 or 8 because of that. But if I go and do some cardio, right when I get there around like 6:30, like the 5 o'clock rush is kind of finishing up their workouts and getting out. So if I get on cardio, like if I do the elliptical for 25 minutes, 30 minutes, by the time I'm done, they're all filtered out and I can go get any machine. That's the biggest problem is like Planet Fitness is kind of limited, you know?
So go for it. I'll go.
I was going to say what you should do is after you work out, because when you work out, you build a lot of testosterone in your system. You want to keep that testosterone flowing within your body. As soon as you eat, it like decreases by a decent amount. So if I were you, after you work out, go like maybe 5 hours before you eat another meal. Just let that because testosterone is naturally a fat burner. So
but what about like eating like high protein and stuff and not fat? And then
I just think that's
because it's rebuilding your cells that you broke down.
Right, but if you're trying to lose weight, you want to keep that fat burning.
Yeah, that's true.
I
mean, I want to. Yeah, I want to lose weight, but I also want to gain muscle. Like, I don't care if I stay the same like number on the scale as long as I feel good and look good and I'm happy with it. But I mean, yeah, I want to get some big arms and some smaller gut.
Yeah, you can still do that. I mean, people who are on keto. I mean, look at Tim Tebow. He does keto and he's jacked. And so you're not. He has a specific feeding window. He's not eating round the clock. And there's plenty of people who, after their workouts, they just won't eat for. I mean, if you look up Dom D'Agostino, he was like a former bodybuilder. He's like jacked, and he doesn't really eat that many calories throughout the day, but he like times his meals perfectly, and he understands.
I could do that too because I'm not hungry during the day, so I could lift or work out. The problem is if I work out at night, then what? Just don't eat until the morning. Then I'm not having dinner.
You could do that.
I'd have to have something at like 3:30 to like really fill me. Like today, actually at 3:30, I had like a big ass burger.
They always say in the morning eat like a king, and at night eat like a peasant because
you're right.
I just can't.
I know.
I can't eat in the morning.
Yeah, I can't either. I just naturally, if you even call it that, but like naturally just intermittent fasting.
It's unintentional fasting.
Yeah, like I just don't eat till about 11:30, which is usually what they say, like 11:30. Hit it, it kicks in, and then
I do put butter in my coffee, and that's the first thing I have, which kind of kicks off my metabolism right off the bat, which is
butter?
nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Kerrygold. That's all I eat.
In your coffee?
Yeah, dude.
It's bulletproof coffee.
So
Holy
I drink
crap.
coffee black. When I started carnivore, I stopped drinking. I stopped doing like half and half or creamer and sugar. Like I used to really like sweets and really like sweet coffee. So I'd have like tons of sugar and crap. I stopped doing that. Now I'm like used to it. So I drink coffee black, and then I'll like to add a little bit of something. I'll just do like a knife full of butter and let it melt, and the fat from the butter kicks off your metabolism right off the bat, first thing in the morning.
That's nuts. I've never heard of that.
Try it.
I will.
Get some Kerrygold though.
Oh yeah, Kerrygold's the best. Yeah,
That's
I'm
all
gonna build
use.
it. I got the video loaded up. It's in stock. It's there. I just gotta go pick it up, which is gonna have the truck. But yeah, next year, man, financially stable. So like lots of savings, and when I'm like, oh, I want to go out, I'm going into the gym. Like that's gonna be my thing. Like when I'm like itching to like go somewhere or spend money, I'm just gonna work it out, sweat, and
that's kind of what I'm doing to my in my mental state for the summer too. Is like Lindsay's mom just built a brand new lake house. I can't wait to go and you like. I love lake life. Like that's just I love fishing. I love being on the water, swimming, whatever. But I'm gonna be like, all right, let's go get a quick pump in, go lift some weights, and then go to the lake.
yeah.
It's doable. I mean, even if I work from like 8 to 4 or 7:30 to 4. I can go work out at 4 to 4:30 or 4 to 5 and then still have 3 hours of daylight to go to the lake. So definitely got to stay dedicated.
We're gonna hold each other accountable.
You could go low carb too.
Yeah,
or,
you could.
Or no carb.
Or no carb.
No carb. I mean,
carb is good
keto
though.
is no carb.
Yeah. I feel like some carbs is good because I don't ever want to deprive myself from anything, but
the human body doesn't need carbohydrate.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
It only needs fat and protein.
Fat,
and anytime it does need glucose, it converts any protein into
it.
Into sugar.
Isn't that weird? I thought that was
So weird.
when I read that I thought that was fake.
No, it's true.
But it's weird. Like if you have too much protein, it will turn it into sugar,
Yeah.
which is so weird. How does your body do that? But with carbs, I mean, your body wants energy, right? So it either uses carbs or fat. So if you're not eating carbs, it's burning your fat, and that's the whole carnivore thing.
Right, and it's keeping insulin low. I think that's the key.
It's so hard. I had a brioche bun on my burger today.
Or the pretzel buns.
A little Kerrygold on it and right on the hot top for a little crisp. I mean,
that's the trade-off.
You could do it 6 days a week and go enjoy a nice burger on Saturdays.
Yeah,
you'll be fine.
I think once you get to a place where you feel good and you feel happy, then you can kind of rebalance, essentially. Like if you're really overweight and you're like, oh, but I still want that burger once a week, like you could drop all the weight, get to where you're happy, and then you can bring it back in. Some people are like, oh, I can never eat a bun again. And it's like, no, you definitely can.
If you see, do you follow Sean, is it Barker or Baker?
Baker,
yeah.
The doctor who eats carnivore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He posts like 6 burger patties with like pepper jack and an egg on it. And he's like, "Oh, dinner for the fam." I'm like, oh my god! Like when I was doing,
That's
when I was
amazing.
hardcore carnivore, like when I was strict, that's like my favorite meal, burgers, because I could add bacon. There's no like, I'm sure it's bad for you, like mayo, but there's no carbs or sugar in mayo.
Why is it bad for you?
I don't know. It's just egg whites, right?
It's just the processed stuff and all the chemical stuff.
Saturated fats and stuff, but yeah, there's no carbs or
fine.
sugar, so like I'd have a little mayo chup, and then the sugar and ketchup and stuff. But like if that's my cheating is having some ketchup on my burger, like then I was doing good.
Yeah,
and it worked well
I
for
wouldn't
me.
really consider that cheating because you're below a certain amount of carbohydrates every day. So
Cut out bread and processed foods. Shop on the outside of your grocery store, and you're
exactly,
golden.
yeah.
I like that.
The outside's all the natural stuff. And
Yeah.
the inside, all the aisles and stuff is all the
The
junk.
box foods and everything.
That's actually very true.
But I was eating like a ton of bacon, and like, oh, it's a ton of fat, but like I still lost 17 pounds because my body was feeding off of that, but it was also feeding off the fat that I currently have, which is amazing. So people are like, oh, like should I do a more lean diet if I want to lose more fat off the bat? You can, and it might work, but I didn't, and I still lost a bunch of weight.
Yeah,
I was eating a ton of bacon.
Back in the 80s, there was like this low fat movement where people were eating a lot of carbs and a lot of protein and everybody was in amazing shape. But now, if you go talk to those people, and I know a couple of them, I won't say who, they all have arthritis because they got rid of fat, and you need fat-soluble vitamins to rebuild cartilage in your joints. And so, back in the 80s, they were so happy and they felt amazing. And it's like, Yeah, but it's unsustainable.
Now you're paying for it.
Yeah, you're paying for it in a certain way. But go ahead.
No.
I was gonna say, but if they were to eat fat this whole time, I guarantee you, like a lot of them, they all have knee replacements or hip replacements. And it's because they just don't have the cartilage built up because they thought back in the day that fat was bad and sugar was good, thanks to the sugar industry.
So my other friend, Mark, who does this, so it's like me, Mike, Mark, and Jason, we all ride. Jason's a hardcore guy. Mark, he's been doing it for over a year now. When he went to carnivore, it's obviously a big fat intake and a big protein intake. He lost his arthritis.
Right.
It went away. The other funny thing is people think it's like, oh, how can you it's so unaffordable to be buying all the steak and stuff. It's like, well, I'm not buying wheat thins. I'm not buying cheese. I'm not buying Eggos. I'm not buying crap.
You're not going
I'm
to
just
the doctor.
buying ribeyes and hamburger meat and bacon.
Right. Yeah.
And butter.
And you're spending the same amount.
Exactly.
Well, and you won't have to go to the doctor and get a $25,000 surgery in 15
I hate
years.
I hate being a hypocrite and preaching it and not doing it. So I'm really hoping to get back into it in the next couple of weeks here.
Yeah, I mean, you can't expect to just
and you can't just snap your fingers and do it.
Yeah,
you need to wean off of it. And if you did do that, your body just doesn't react to it. And even weaning, there's gonna be a lot of carb detoxing where it's just every 5 minutes you're going to the bathroom. But it's your body getting used to it, and it's crazy because if I have eggs now, I'll go to the restroom within the hour. After you do it for a few weeks or a month or something, your body you have one nice stool of a day, and your body's used to it, dude, and it's awesome. You feel great. You really do feel good, and a good way to try it is doing at least 30 days of it.
Well, I think it's too bad that there's people out there who are struggling with arthritis or some major ailment, and then somebody comes up to them and says, "Hey, have you tried carnivore or low carb?" And they just go, "Yeah, no, I don't want to have a heart attack." I'm like, "But your knee doesn't work now."
Right.
And I'm like, there's got to be something else. You can't be pumping yourself full of medication to fix a natural a deficiency.
And if you look at old studies of the human brain, it's hunter or gatherers, and as soon as they start eating meat, it skyrockets.
Yeah,
your body is made to eat meat.
Yeah, that's what propelled
we are carnivores.
us.
Yeah, we truly are.
That's what propelled us into who we are now. Is eating fats and eating fish, the omega-3s. That's why
there's so much of that in the Kerrygold too.
That stuff is so good for you.
Yeah.
Dude, Kerrygold, I'm telling you.
I just started recently eating sardines and tuna.
No, thank you.
Sardines are tough.
I love tuna.
Tuna is great.
It's so good for you.
Yeah, I just
put
a little bit
much
of mayo.
protein. Yeah,
I know.
A little lemon in there.
Yeah,
the thing is, I want to eat.
Tough.
I want to eat on a scoops or on a piece of wheat bread. It's I just got to sit there and eat it raw.
Yeah. And there's something I did want to talk about. So I got diagnosed with ADHD, and I'm very against modern medicine.
Recently? Oh,
about last week.
Oh, damn. Okay.
A full diagnosis.
Meanwhile, I'm over here fidgeting.
And I'm not okay with taking a medication for something that I feel is a deficiency. So I did a little bit of research, and my background, I tend to kind of dive into this stuff. And so what Vyvanse Adderall does is it aids in acetylcholine uptake in your brain to allow you to focus.
It's like a small dose of cocaine is what I've heard, because it can get you all jittery and stuff, but if you have ADHD, it affects you differently than if you don't, and it's weird.
Right, yeah. And some people quote unquote need it, but in my opinion and what I've researched, it looks like it's more of a deficiency in this brain chemical that people naturally develop called DMAE. And so I was like, if I need DMAE in my brain rather than Adderall or Vyvanse, I'm going to do that.
But how do you get it?
Sardines.
Okay.
They're a high source of that. Salmon, other types of fish.
So
I've been eating this stuff like crazy, and it's definitely been helping. And I also cut chicken completely out of my diet because chicken is just trash meat, in my opinion.
There's no good fats in chicken.
Yeah, there's no good fats in. And the omega-6 to 3 ratio is super high. So there's a lot of omega-6s and not a whole lot of omega-3s. So I'm I'm just going to ditch this crappy food. I'm done with it. And so the past week, I've had I've just been much more attentive, and I can focus on one task at a time.
Don't you have a lot of iron?
Yeah.
With eating fish and tuna and salmon and stuff, doesn't that give you kind of too much iron?
There is iron, but I saw you last week, so I'm doing blood donations now to kind of help with that iron overload.
Right.
My mom has to do that.
Yeah, she probably does it every 6 weeks or something.
It was like every week for a while, then it was every other week. She suggested that I get tested just to see if I had this
Hematochromatosis.
Yeah. She had a huge iron uptick, like way too much.
Yeah, so that's a genetic. I don't want to call it a disease, but you typically will get that from somebody in your family.
Right.
But in my case, I tested negative for hematochromatosis. I just have naturally high iron. I just absorb an unhealthy amount for some reason.
Right.
Like my last test, it's at like dangerous levels. So
That's
the
wild.
guy was like, "You got to start, giving some blood."
So what else are you eating? So you're not eating chicken. You're eating a lot of fish.
Yeah. So I'm eating.
You running some ribeyes or what?
I do eat a little bit of steak now because, like, after you donate blood, you're supposed to kind of replenish a little bit of iron.
Some ribeyes, some hamburger meat.
Yeah,
Dude, 85% at McKinnon's. We had burgers last night, and I had leftovers for lunch.
Sounds so good.
It's so good. It's really and like it burns a lot. I mean, I had a couple grill fires because of it, but it's worth it if I keep it cleaned up.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, if you got to get the Kerrygold. It's all the good stuff. It's grass-fed cows, and the butter comes out so much more yellow, just because it's
super
got
yellow.
tons more nutrients in it because of that. But
from Ireland. So
Yeah.
it's good if it's from
pretty
there.
awesome.
From
They put a
Ireland.
little whiskey.
Well, the thing about
David.
the thing about last thing with chickens is they always are like, oh, like it's free range chickens. It's like, all right, so they're just walking around eating whatever they want. How do you know what they're eating though? They could be eating like crap all over the ground, and it's like, all right, now it's.
And the definition of like free range too is disgusting.
It's
like
so gross.
they're not in a cage, but they're in like a bigger cage.
Cage-free eggs, dude.
Yeah. And like Sean Baker, he eats beef from corn-fed cows because he understands that they do have 8 stomachs. So by the time it becomes like tissue, it's actually a little bit easier for humans to digest than grass-fed, grass-finished cows. So he eats that. I mean, good for him. I'm not going to do that because I like the grass-fed, grass-finished beef.
Your body doesn't digest corn.
No.
Everyone can attest to that.
Well, that's why the cows they digest it for you essentially.
Yeah.
And then it's meat. But I still think the better way to go is just, eliminate that question. Just go with the grass-fed, grass-finished.
Yep.
So
Sweet.
Well, we've wrapped up the year. We are wrapping up the year as we're recording here, but the year has been wrapped up. The word of the year, RIZZ. How do you feel about that? You know what it means?
Oh yeah.
RIZZ.
Yeah.
So Lindsay asked her kid. She said she's a teacher in high school, and she said, you guys know what RIZZ is, obviously. Like, yeah, it's our favorite word. Blah blah. All right, do you guys know what charisma is? And like, no. She says it's the same thing. They just shortened it to RIZZ.
These kids didn't know that.
No. They're just like, oh, dude, it's so RIZZ.
It's charisma.
Mad RIZZ. Yeah.
It's being able to like be smooth and
Yeah.
persuade people and kind of have that charm. I think it's
Definitely
charming.
the charm,
is a good,
yeah,
good
like,
adjective.
You got a good charm. You got a way with ladies or
You can
vice versa.
seduce people.
Basically,
goodly.
you've got the RIZZ.
What are you,
yeah.
a lawyer?
Yeah. Well, it's crazy because like I always see comments like, "Oh, this guy, like these prank people, like prankster people, or the guy. His name's Steven Shapiro on YouTube. What he does is he goes up to girls all the time in like campuses and college campuses, and he'll be awkward, or he'll say a joke, or he'll yell, he'll go like, "Hi," and then they turn around like super scared, like, "Hey, do you know where the library is?" And everyone's always like, "This guy's got such RIZZ."
Is that RIZZ?
It's like,
is that RIZZ?
Just yelling, "Hey!"
Well, because he always, for like I would say like 98.9% of the time he gets their phone number, so that's why. But I'm just like, geez,
He's got the style. He's got the charm.
He's a cool dude. I feel like I'd hang out with him. But
He's charmed you.
he has.
What a year.
What a
2023
year.
was a great one. 2024, it can get better,
Can
right?
only
Yes.
go up,
Oh yeah.
depending on who gets elected.
Making the. I know. We'll make it a martini.
Bobby
year.
Kennedy, baby. Let's go.
Let's make it a martini year.
Cheers.
Cheers. Shake it up.
We'll be
Follow
back to our
us.
normal schedule. We had a couple of weeks off with the holidays and stuff, but every Thursday, 11 a.m., Check us out.
Let's do it.
Do it.
Cheers.
Shake it up.